So, welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed our salad. Now we're going to continue with very simple to make main dish. Namely, this is going to be lentil nettle stew. And I'm quickly going to explain why I decided to choose that recipe and why exactly these ingredients. So the main base actually of the dish are gonna be lentils. So lentils are known as superfood. So it's not only quinoa, it's not only goji berry that are superfood, but lentils that are readily available almost everywhere are as well superfood because they're extremely high in protein, they're low in fat, they're very nutritious, they're very high in fiber, and they're also high in iron and other minerals. So if you want to really enrich your diet with a very nutritious, very simple to find ingredient, lentils is the thing. Also, they are easy to digest, which make it also easier on us. Then, what I'm also going to put is nettle. What is nettle? Most people know it as maybe from hiking, from walking in nature. It looks like that. This one looks already a bit sad because I picked it up today in the morning, but it's the one that burns. No worries, after you have picked it and after you have washed it, the chance that you get burned are actually quite low. You can as well, if you're not lucky enough to live somewhere near the woods or is a park where you might find it, you can easily substitute nettle with spinach in the dish, or you can actually do as well a mix of both. So here it's really up to you. Why nettle? Why do I personally like it so much? Well, it is very, very rich in iron. So spinach, yes, it has iron. Nettle even has more, so which is great. Also, it's great for doing detox. What you should watch out for when using it as a tea, for example, because you can also dry it and then use it throughout longer time to put in tea or also in that same dish. What you should watch out for is to drink enough water after you have consumed nettle tea, because it is detoxifying, so it gets the liquids out of your body on one hand, but on the other one you want to make sure to fill your tank again. Good. And what else is an ingredient of this dish? So I have cut here onions and garlic. Here we have them, onions and garlic. As you probably know, garlic has been used in traditional medicine for a very long time. It has anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral properties, so it is very good to incorporate it in one's diet. So this is why I chose these ingredients as well. We will have some salt, we will have some pepper, we will have some paprika powder, we will have some thyme again to really spice it up and make it a nice, delicious dish. So from here we're gonna take this and walk to our cooking station. So from here I'm gonna roast a bit the onions and also the garlic until they get this light gold color that we want to have. And I just put a bit of an olive oil. Olive oil is can be used to cook in without much concern. So I'm just gonna mix that a bit and let it get golden. What I have already done in advance is I have boiled the lentils. So I have them here. I also have them in with their water because I'm gonna add the water into the pan so that we can use it as part of the sauce. So feel free, leave the water in there. And as well, I have already prepared my nettle over there and the spices that I'm gonna use. Good, so I'm just gonna mix that for a while. So we have now that slight golden color that we are aiming for. I reduce the temperature a bit so that the pan is not so hot, because I'm gonna add the lentils and the water and I don't want it all to blow up. So I'm just gonna add these, make sure that I have everything in there. Good. And then just mix it. And then I'm gonna let it just all mix, come together. And now right away, after I have mixed the lentils and the onions, I'm adding the nettle. So you can see it's quite a lot at first, because it takes a lot of volume, but when you gently mix it with the rest, it will get less. So I have already washed it, I have cut the stems, so I only have the leaves in there. So it's a bit of a hustle at first, just to get all of the leaves inside the pan without producing too much waste. But eventually you get there. Make sure that you don't burn the rest. Make sure as well that you still have enough water for the sauce. In case my water runs out, I just have prepared an additional glass to make sure that then we have a really good, really juicy stew. Okay, now as you can see, the nettle has reduced its volume quite a lot, and I reduced as well the temperature, and I just am gonna let it simmer here for a while. And this is also the point of time in which I will add the salt that I have prepared. I will as well add the paprika over. I will as well add the paprika powder, a bit of black pepper, and then I'm gonna also add starch. I use corn starch, but you can as well use potato starch. This would be the gluten-free. You can also use potato starch. This would be the gluten-free options. You can as well use, if you're not concerned about your gluten consumption, you can use a bit of flour, and approximately 1 spoon is the amount that I put, just to make the sauce thicker. So I have prepared here a bit, so I'm just gonna put a bit. Oh, it's a bit humid here, and see how does that work, and whether the consistency of the sauce is how I want it to be. And as well, if you feel that you want to add some more olive oil, you can do so, because so far I only have the one that I used for roasting the onion and the garlic. Watch out with the amount, but in general this recipe doesn't have a lot of fat from the main ingredients, but it all comes from the olive oil that you put in, so you can decide there how much. What I'm still missing is the thyme, which has been looking at me for quite some time, but I have been successfully ignoring it. So I'm just gonna add as well my thyme. Oops, this one fell. As much as I want, it adds really a very, very nice smell as well as taste, and it fits so perfectly with lentils. So what you have to watch out when doing this recipe is that it's not boring. So because you will boil the lentils, so the taste will get lost in the process of the cooking a bit. So what is good to have is a lot of spices, and my favorite to-go spice is thyme. So I'm just gonna, I think that's enough. I'm just gonna mix that again, and then let it simmer for 1 more minute on a very low temperature fire and then let it cool down a bit, then enjoy it.